Okay. Week 7? Was it? Week 7. And I'm not even going to do an intro. We're just going to get right into it. We're going to get into the one game that started the group chat last night. Ryan versus Oso. Now, if you weren't paying attention, Ryan was up by like 65. And or it was like 50 or some shit like that. No, I think it was like 65. Around that area. Actually, let's do the math. Let's see what Ryan was up by. Because Alex needed Jordan Addison, Christian McCaffrey, and TJ Hawkinson to score 67 points. And Ryan yesterday had Jake Moody going. So he was up by 60 points and he lost. That shit crazy. Wow. Someone said in the group chat perfectly, Alex sold his soul to win fantasy football games. And honestly, I think Alex got the best deal out of that because holy shit. That was a crazy comeback, honestly. Jordan Addison with 31, having the game of his career, 123 and 2 touchdowns against the Niners, of fucking course. Christian McCaffrey doing Christian McCaffrey things. Travis Etienne doing things. I mean, honestly, both of these teams just went fucking nuclear. Um, except Ryan's, all of his points came from Lamar Jackson. He did have some wide receiver issues a little bit. I mean, you're okay. Wow, they had the same exact line. What were the chances of that? That's funny. Um, but look, if you scored 156 and you tell me you lost, that's crazy, especially by about 1.1 points. So bad beat, unfortunately. I think this is where it came right here, unfortunately, but it happens, man. Ryan, I'm not going to bag on you too much. You got a really solid team. Also, still undefeated, 7-0, kind of running away with the league, but all you need to do is get into playoffs, get that 6th seed, and you're good to go. But we're gonna move on with the less exciting matchups. Unfortunately, everything was kind of a blowout for the rest of the leagues, and Tony blew me out. I had a terrible week at 71 points. Tony sitting nicely at 112, beating his projections. Uh, I'm not even gonna bother with my team. Honestly, there's nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. It was my week. What is what it is. Jordan Love hitting his projection, kind of interesting to see how Jordan Love kind of does going forward. Um, he did have a couple breakout games early on, but kind of dived down a little bit, and that's kind of surprising losing to Denver as well because I think Green Bay is better than them, but both aren't really that great of a team at the moment. Gabe Davis had just a really bad game, but New England likes to scheme against quarterbacks, and I think that's what they did. Kind of took away all of Josh Allen's weapons and just try to force everything to either him or on the ground game. AJ Brown having a great game, 137 and 1 with 10 receptions. You're happy to see that big time with Jerome Ford hitting 16 points, Joshua Kelly hitting 13, George Kittle having a great game yesterday. It's not like you needed it, but you kicked my ass anyways, but good job. Drake London barely hitting his projection. That's fine. I mean, you're fine. You're happy with those. They hit projections. So shout out Tony, beating me, getting up to 3-4, dropping me down to 3-4 as well. So um, we're both negative 500 on our records right now, but we still got some time, Tony. So don't worry about it. We can turn this thing around. We're gonna go on to the next one. Juan versus Travis, and Travis kind of walked away with this one by about 12 points or so, 12, 14 points. Let's look at Juan's first. Jalen Hurts beating his projection. He's injured. That's interesting. I don't know what happened. Oh, that's right, his knee. Um, man, you know what? If I think if this showed up for you, Juan, if Calvin really showed up for you, let's check your bench to see if any other points. Oh yeah, you left 20 on the bench and you left 31 on your bench. I could have told you that. I could have told you this one right here. I could have told you that right there. Could have told you that one. Damn. Well, you live and you learn. but Calvin Ridley, that's unfortunate. They got the win, so they didn't really care too much. My cat's probably gonna jump on my chair. Puka Nakua just showing out, dude. This kid's fucking so good. And then Kenneth Walker's being a workhorse for Seattle, man. I feel like they switch running backs every year, and it's this year it's Walker, but he's doing it. He's showing out really well. Josh Warren, I believe it is, out of Pittsburgh, big win. And in Los Angeles, something's up with Los Angeles there. I feel like they're in a rebuilding mode, especially on their defensive side, because it doesn't feel like they can stop really many people at the current moment. Sam Laporta hitting his average. Deontay Johnson, you're happy with them. Wide receiver, running back stack. You might want to look into changing that, unfortunately, especially if the offense kind of goes one sided. You know, if it's all air yards or something like that, the volatility for the distribution is kind of like running two wide receivers together in the same game. So it's like if you had Puka Nakua and you had uh Cooper Cup. Like, can it work? Yes. Is it likely? Not really. Now, in Puka Nakua's in that situation, it probably would, but you wouldn't be too happy with it. Kind of in the situation that Tony was last week, where he was running both Buffalo wide receivers. If he would have ran it this week, if he still had both of them together, it wouldn't have worked out for Tony. I think coming up to our matchup, I think I can't even remember what had happened, but I mean, if it wasn't Buffalo's game, he would have been screwed. He would have been screwed. Just real quick. Gabe Davis, yeah, C1. And I know he traded him away, so kind of worked out for Tony on that one. But going back to you guys. Kind of hit the projections everywhere else. Everyone was kind of even across the board. Vegas, bad game against Chicago. Now going over to Travis's team, Patrick Mahomes. This is what you have been waiting for. I'm happy to see this for Patrick Mahomes. This is the type of game that you expect him to have at least 4 or 5 times throughout the season, and it finally started to happen for him. Sucks happening against the Chargers, but Chargers having a terrible year this year. But big game, big game by Patrick Mahomes. So you're thrilled to have that, almost essentially doubling your projections. That was going to be your workhorse. That essentially got you the win in this matchup. Uh, Devontae Smith, he's kind of like the squeaky wheel in this offense right now. Everything kind of goes AJ Brown's way, or if it's going on the ground. Marquise Brown, you're kind of hoping that what's that little fucker's name for the quarterback? You're hoping that he kind of comes back. He does have some volatility on the ground, which can kind of open up passing lanes for you guys. So you're hoping he comes back, but Marquise Brown has been pretty decent, for the past couple games. Those are just two bad games for him. So I mean, I would still be throwing him out there. You kind of have some hard matchups, but the end of the season, potential league winners if everything kind of works out for him. And Saquon Barkley having a great game, 77-1 with 41 receptions. I don't know how many receptions he had, but that's a good game for him. +4 over his projections, so you're happy with it. Ezekiel Elliott, you're kind of not wanting to run with him, but if he gets his one rushing touchdown like he did, then you're happy with it. 9 points, I'm not going to complain. Tight end kind of split, so it's pretty good. Good pickup on Joshua Myers, Jacoby Myers. This dude's been playing great. I think he's like top 15 wide receivers at the current moment, so you're happy with them. And your kicker and your defense kind of split out, but Travis getting the win, moving positive in the rankings at 4-3, and then dropping down 1 to 3-4 as well. So Travis sitting in third place, solid team, consistent. Let's get over to the next one. Robert and Roman. Robert, very consistent team this year as well, going up to 4-3. Roman kind of falling in the ranks, just having some really bad luck. He's hit his projections. I mean, you're happy with 16 points over your projections, but it's just a rough loss, unfortunately. Trevor Lawrence breaking even. Antonio's Antonio Saquon? No, Amon Ross St. Brown. Breaking projection 102 and 13. You kind of wish he would have scored, but that game was completely just Baltimore's way. If you watch that game, Baltimore controlled the game from like the outgoing in. They never let go. They can do whatever they wanted on offense, and it's kind of like one of the reasons why um, the quarterback had like 40 points or some shit like that. So just bad game, just bad game. DJ Moore breaking even just under. Austin Eckler did not look good that game. Did not look good. I think he kind of got blown out pretty quickly, but Austin Eckler's been battling some injuries this year, and that kind of sucks because he's probably the second overall running back that was taken, and he's just not showing up for you at all for you this year. Here she comes. There she comes. Ramondre Stevenson breaking even on that. You're happy. Mark Andrews with the massive game, 2 touchdowns and 4 receptions. That's a big game. He got his early with 63 yards. You're kind of happy with that. You're not gonna come, so fuck you then. Mike Evans. Mike Evans is turning it around. I know he had a couple really like decently bad games right here, back to back, especially coming off a bye week. You're not happy with that, but he's gonna get his. He's definitely the number one in the offense, so just keep riding him, and you're gonna be fine. Sanders broke even. You're happy with that in Baltimore. They kind of shit on Detroit, but you'd expect more points out of that. But hey, you got the win. You're happy with it. Roman made a late push, going with Kirk Cousins. Yes, last night. Let's see if he would have gone with Joe Burrow. Never mind, Joe Burrow was on bye week. I'm stupid. But 30 points. Kirk having like his best game of the year so far. Of course, it's against the Niners defense, so fuck off. Um, Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, like, he's been injured all year. And I heard a line about him earlier today. It's that when Jalen Waddle's available, he's injured, which is kind of like an oxymoron on that. But it's just weird. It sucks because he can easily be their number 2 wide receiver and an explosive offense, but he's just never fully healthy. And I think kind of a lot of this had to do with that a little bit too. You're projecting 12. You're happy with 9. It could have been worse, so much worse. It could have been like Brandon Ayuk getting 8. Um, just the game didn't go their way. Unfortunately, Niners defense couldn't really stop Minnesota too much, giving up over 400 total yards of offense, and that's just can't have that. You cannot have that. But you are happy with Najee Harris, especially getting the win over the Rams. Yeah, you got that one rushing touchdown, so that's the 6 points right there. So that kind of pushed you over the projection on that. So you're definitely happy that he got that. And then Aaron Jones, I can't really think of how well he's had a terrible year so far. That makes sense. Started off on fire and just has done literally nothing or has been injured. So there's just kind of bad luck on that. Kyle Pitts getting a little bit work in the game. You'd be thrilled if he just caught a touchdown, but it kind of just didn't go his way. George Pickens, kind of doing the same thing. Unfortunately, I think it was just because of the waivers. You had a wide receiver and running back stack going right there, so it's kind of volatility. But in this case, it actually kind of worked out. Like I said, it could work, but you don't expect it to pretty often. And then your kicker kind of broke even. You had a good call on the defense against Indianapolis. High scoring game, but they had 3 fumbles and a touchdown. So that definitely kind of played into the fact that it wasn't negative. And then going into the last matchup of the week, we have Boodle Bart Orlando getting up to 4-3 against Jonathan, whose stack team just did not show up this week. Holy hell, that is a projection under. Let's go ahead and look at Orlando's team right now with Herbert leading the way. Not really hitting his projection. It's that was a rough game. Kansas City and the Chargers, they know each other so well, so I think Kansas City just played it really well against them. And then Diggs, he got his 1 touchdown, but you kind of expect more than that, especially out of him. You're happy that he his projection. It could have been so much worse, but you're happy you hit his projection, but you're expecting the 24 and the 25s at least. So it just didn't go their way. Like I said, I think New England kind of schemes everything against the quarterback, and it just didn't go their way. I think Josh Allen was kind of like fighting for his life during that game. But Tutu Atwell getting his one reception for one touchdown for 31 yards, 1 for 1. Broke his projection. You're happy with it, honestly. 1 for 1, like you can't really complain. If you're gonna get one reception, you want it to be a touchdown. So, and that's what happened. So you're okay with that. Rashard White not scoring on there, but he is being this projection. A lot of that came with the reception yards. I wonder 6 receptions, so that's 6 points right there automatically. No, 3 points right there automatically, but that does help a lot. So you're happy with that. And Bijan, if y'all didn't hear what happened with Bijan, he had a headache, and that's why he didn't play. I think he got his first touch at the end of the game, and that was it. So it's, I don't know, man. Like the head coach for Atlanta is just a fucking moron, dude, and just like this isn't the first time he's ruined someone's day because of this. So just a bad situation to be in. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't really affect the outcome of the game, but that sucks. That sucks. Dallas Goddard showing out, doubling his projection, 77-1. So you're thrilled with that blowout game for tight end. Dallas Goddard right there. And Cortland Sutton, great call on Cortland Sutton. I would not have projected that, but if you didn't really have the value on the bench, especially at a wide receiver spot, yeah, questionable, didn't play, and on a bye week, and you wanted your volatility to be a little higher, so wide receiver spot, good call, very good call. Didn't need it, but good call. And then your kicker, and then defense, positive, so you're good on that. But Jonathan's team, Jared Goff, 10 points. That's rough. I mean, he's a home road quarterback. I keep saying it over and over and over. Last week he blew up on the road. This week he was on the road and he didn't blow up, and that's what I do not like about Jared Goff on the road. Um, this kills you more than it helps you in his blowout games. So that's rough. And Cooper Kupp, just the game just was terrible for the Rams, unfortunately. Didn't even get his touchdown, but he got a 2 point conversion, so that's better than nothing. No receptions either, so just the offense just did not go his way, but he's still gonna get fed, so don't worry about it. Tyreek Hill, he still got his 11 receptions, feeding him the ball, 88 yards, and a reception touchdown. So 20 points, you're never gonna complain about Tyreek getting 20. And then Raheem Mostert, like I said, volatility stack right here. If it's going one person's way, it's likely not going to go the other person's way. So it kind of showed out in this instance of why it didn't work out. 44 rushing yards, so it is what it is. Josh Jacobs, just they need Garoppolo. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Garoppolo didn't play, but they need Garoppolo. Just because holy crap, did not look good. And Cole Kmet, I do not know what happened here. Did he not even get a target? So that sucks. Did he played, just didn't get a target, just completely wiped out of the offense. And you would think otherwise with them beginning the win, but once you're up, you kind of don't need to throw, especially to a tight ends like that, unless you're one of their top wide receivers or top receiving options like Dallas Goddard. But that's rough. Just essentially your 2 out of your 3 top wide receivers just not showing out. Like I said, Kansas City knows the Chargers, and I think this guy shanked like 2 of them. Did not attempt a field goal. Didn't even attempt a field goal, and that sucks. That it was just a battering. It was just a battering against one side. That's all it is, unfortunately. And San Francisco couldn't do shit against Minnesota, so I'm not going to bring that up. But it is what it is, man. I mean, Jonathan, your team's going to make a comeback. You got 3 great wide receivers and one great running back so far in the year, plus a decent home quarterback. So, I mean, you're going to be fine. You're going to get your wins. And then Orlando, just under your projection, but it was a bye week thing and you missed out right here. Let's say Bijan hits his, not even his projection. Let's say he just hits 10. You're looking at 109. So that's a good squad. That's a good squad. But good job, everybody, for this week. Congrats on the winners. Losers, make your moves on the waiver wires. I know I will. Also undefeated 7-0 with Ryan in second place, Travis in third. Robert in 4th, Orlando in 5th, and then everybody else under 5th is going to be under 500, including myself in 6th spot. You got Juan and Tony tied in 6th to 8th. So this is that little golden spot right here. 6th place is going into the playoffs, so you want to make that push. Following up with Jonathan at 2-5 and Roman at 1-6. So make your moves for the waiver wires. There are coming up a couple bye weeks. Looking forward and kind of get ready for. I think the next big one is going to be week 10, and so this is going to be week 8. So you kind of want to start getting ready for that. Start taking a look forward and making your moves earlier, so you're not fighting last minute or being forced into trades. But that's going to be it. 20 minutes long, too long of a video. I need to stop talking. See you later. Bye.